So we're back with a match ramble of a recent match that I really wanted to cover as soon as I could. And I watched it this morning and I was very impressed. I wanted to talk about this. We're talking about Andrade El Idolo versus Yota Tsuji for the IWGP Global Heavyweight Championship at New Japan Wrestling Dontaku at 2026. Now, we covered Andrade and Yota Tsuji's previous match a few weeks ago now, and just in a basic match ramble, which was for I think it was just for both the main IWGP Heavyweight Championship. Obviously, Yota Tsuji lost that to Callum Newman, but then now he's still got the global. So Andrade obviously challenged him due to an injury to Gabe Kidd, and this match, I said it in the previous match ramble, this would be. I said even in that one, because I'd done that one before, while this was announced before this happened, obviously. And I just said, there was clearly working for a better match here, just needed a bit more time. This is it. This is exactly that. The match was great. I mean, Jesus, I think this match really proved to me, one, they're very similar. Especially how Andrade presented in New Japan. He's a lot more slow, in the best sense. He's not a slow wrestler. God, no, Andrade's the opposite of that. But Jesus, he's so... he's got a bit of stance to him. It's a bit, he always say weighty with wrestlers, and I do mean that with Andrade, where I feel like it's toned down to make everything a bit more impactful. It's really fucking good. And for me, what I really enjoyed about this is Yota Tsuji looks good here, but I feel like in near enough every measurement, Andrade looks better, so it looks like just the better guy won. I don't know what's going on with New Japan. I don't follow it that much. I watch the pay-per-views. I tried to. I didn't watch the full pay-per-view for this. I will watch it. But I do think that, is there a story going on with Yota Tsuji losing his, aura, for lack of a better term? I don't fucking know, because he's lost both belts. But Andrade here, I mean, I just think here, it feels like they've picked up exactly from the match previous, and I love that. There's a lot more chemistry built in from the get-go. I mean, geez, look, the match is like half an hour, and the one criticism I would have to say is that the match is a bit too long for its own good. I don't think it needed half an hour. And bear in mind, I said this about the previous match, it needed more time. This didn't. This felt like the problem is with this time is it felt very parted. It felt like you'd have a great sequence, then it stopped, then, you know what I mean? It felt like it didn't need that. It felt it just needed that consistency. But the build's great. I mean, Andrade, if this match doesn't prove that Andrade's been, this year alone so far, top 10, even top 5, I don't know what does. The guy's been on an absolute tear. I mean, not a lot of wrestlers have even been close. I mean, you look at the stuff in AEW, the Darby match, the Kenny match, the Swerve match, everything. And then the New Japan stuff, obviously with Yota Tsuji prior, and this one too. Everything's working. Leaving the Fed was shock, the best move he could have done. And God, he's a hero. And I love in this match too, character-wise, he's a lot more locked in compared to how he is in AEW. And not that that's a problem due to, I love how his character is in AEW. I adore it because I think it's a lot more fun. Obviously, it's a lot more, you got the spot with Andrade and the hose, stuff like that. But I feel like in here, it feels like it matches the aesthetic of New Japan, where it's a lot more sports-based. Not that AEW isn't, but, it's a good mix. New Japan's very, straight. And I love that. I feel like what I do like here is Andrade still has that, that, not want to say aura, but, that type of, he exudes that character of, he is cocky. He is arrogant, and he thinks he's better. Not like MJF, he thinks he's better than you, but Jesus, he has that, he exudes that, but then, even just by the taunts and stuff, but then in Yota Tsuji, with their dynamic, it feels like he's very much I am better than you, but I will prove to you on your terms, because he doesn't want to let Yota Tsuji have a limit, because I think he sees Yota Tsuji as similar to him, which is smart. To speak about Yota Tsuji, I adore Yota Tsuji. I think Yota Tsuji is one of the main reasons I'm into New Japan this year. I'm trying to watch more New Japan, and Yota Tsuji is a main centre point of that. I think Yota Tsuji is brilliant. I just think it does look like he has, I don't know what the story is. I don't know if they're doing a story with Yota Tsuji, but I feel like that guy needs to have a bit more of a oomph behind him. He looks good here, don't get me wrong. Wrestling-wise, he's always great from what I've seen. But I feel like here, he just needs a bit more bite. He needs a bit more oomph in him. He doesn't have that, and I don't know if that's intentional or not, but I feel like he just misses that slight bit of it's not that he hasn't got the aggression. He's got the resilience, definitely, but not the aggression here. But I feel like that, once you've lost the title and your title's on the line to a competitor like Andrade, it could have kind of been like that. again, to actual wrestling point, I mean, Jesus, the actual chemistry these two have, they're very similar. They do, obviously, the back salt off the ropes together, which is cool. Obviously, Andrade does, you know, his DM. That's how he wins it. Shock, Andrade wins. I'll just want to get into that now. Does the, I think, I don't know, it's the Three Amigos. I thought it called, like, he does a somersault off, well, somersault. He does a leap off the back and then misses, but then jumps again. I always loved that. Obviously, the reversals in here, specifically the back elbow from Andrade, gets me going. It's very Shibata-esque, and I adore that. I think Andrade's style fits New Japan to a fucking T. I really do. I think he's excellent. And then, obviously, Andrade's Mexican wrestlers, a lot of lucha influence, but Jesus, I feel like just the mix and how more stable he is, for lack of a better term. He's not, Andrade in New Japan is not so, like, compared to Mystico, for instance, and this is not a criticism. But, like, Mystico's very, you know, bang, let's jump here. Like, very quick, very athletic. Andrade's still athletic, but it's a lot more, I'm going to strike you down. And speaking about the strikes in this match, Jesus Christ, the strikes Andrade alone gives to Yota Tsuji are fucking incredible. Like, they stand up and Andrade's like, go on, do one, and then he goes, fuck off. And, like, the build, you see the sweat coming off. Oh, my God. You see Yota Tsuji's handprint on his foot, well, the handprint on Yota Tsuji's chest. That's where the resilience comes in from Yota Tsuji. He's, like, really trying to go on, but he does. And it's just a lot of that. Yota Tsuji does do some back, and they are good, but, like, the impact on Andrade's are like, Jesus Christ. Like, they're fucking incredible, really. And I think that's something that doesn't get talked about enough with Andrade, is his strikes are just incredible. They really are. Obviously, you know, Andrade's strikes have always been his great moveset, but I feel like they've just, it just works. His aerial game, too, obviously. Yota Tsuji, I mean, the guy... It feels like with this match, in a sense, I don't want to downplay Yota Tsuji here, but I feel like this match felt like very much like Yota Tsuji's going to be Yota Tsuji, but he's not going to kind of go for it. He's just very static, and not static physically, but you know what I mean, compared to the two, it feels like it's very much Andrade's going to work off Yota Tsuji, and Andrade, you know what I mean, and normally it's a bit like, oh, they'll work off each other. It feels like Andrade will work off Yota Tsuji in the best possible way, and I really enjoy that. Again, I'm a big fan of Andrade. I am. Andrade is one of my favourite wrestlers in the world currently. Obviously on AEW, I get more of a, you know, an aspect and an opportunity to see him every week. Well, most weeks. But, like, the guy's been on a tear. An absolute tear. And for him, like I said, he gets the win with the Three Amigos. What the Three Amigos? The DM. And it's like, that was very anticlimactic. He hits the DM, and then the commentary's like, it's done, it's over. And it's like, you feel like there's a kick out coming. There's not that many kick outs here, but when they do, they are worked. You know, they get a double, but they both kick out straight away. That was pretty cool. But he wins with the DM, and then obviously, you know, gets the belt, which is a huge moment. And I'll talk about that in a second. But I feel like you could have had I feel like there's a lack of a sprint here in this match. I feel like that's its biggest issue for me. And again, I don't expect, like, this quick, snappy, you know, athletic. I don't expect a Will Ospreay match from Andrade or Yota Tsuji. I don't. They're both their own wrestlers, and they're great from that anyway, especially with how they're presented over there. But it's like, I feel like that one moment, I feel like the stakes wasn't there for me. Again, it was intense. The entire vibe is a very intense vibe, where they're both they're very similar. And I didn't expect to say that. They are quite similar here. They're not, because I think it's because they downplay Andrade's speed. That's probably why. But again, the chemistry these two have this is something I would never like to see end in terms of a rivalry. And, like, you know, just how they basically go at each other. I think you could have these matches forever, and they would always be interesting to me. I think they're excellent matches, I do. I just feel like there's every match, like, even after the last match and then this match, you're like, okay, this is building even better and better, and eventually you're going to get a matches like this is an all-time classic. Not that this isn't, but it's definitely below a level of, let's say, an Andrade versus Kenny, for instance, or, you know what I mean, something like that. And not a criticism, but I feel like that's something we just should, again, I'm not part of New Japan, but you know what I mean, I feel like that is something I would definitely build towards. But yeah, the match was great. I mean, Andrade does win the Global Heavyweight, and this is really cool because this is the first time in, I think, 13 years he's won a New Japan title since being La Sombra, which is that really cool. I'm really happy for the guy. Instantly on, the dude's an aura farmer. He's just one sick bastard. I love Andrade. I love him. And he's like, he's on Twitter already at an MJF, and like, you're going, how you know? And then he's going, MJF's going cool tollbaits, and he goes, how you know? That shit, I love him. And this is definitely building towards Forbidden Door. For me, this has to be. I don't know what the plan is with Tsuji for Forbidden Door. I wouldn't be against doing this again, but I feel like you got to wait for a bit now. But I feel like the thing is with Andrade now going forward, you've obviously got him tied into New Japan for a good bit with the global, and not against that, so I'll definitely build that towards the Forbidden Door. The Max feud's there. The Max feud, I don't know how many times I'm going to say it, the Max feud is there for Andrade going forward. That's what we should be focusing on. Tsuji, again, you got to have him in Forbidden Door in some way. I don't know if they're going to do the whole, you know, basically what they were building with Gabe Kidd and the Dogs, you know, with Lost Faction, Ingrid and Arbalays. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that correctly, but there's a lot there. I feel like this has to be built for Forbidden Door. It's not that far away, I don't think. But whatever they're doing with these two, and whatever New Japan are doing, someone let me know who watches New Japan consistently. I would love to know. This match is really interesting to me. Again, I feel like it just misses the mark on a few things. I feel like Yota Tsuji being kind of muted compared to an Andrade does affect it, but it's an excellent match. It really is. It's a great example of how New Japan's presentation really fucking works for some wrestlers, especially Andrade. I mean, it's very interesting to see Andrade in AEW and New Japan concurrently, but then they're so different. In AEW, he's a lot more athletic, he's a lot more fast. He really, that's the main thing. The speed in Andrade in AEW is so noticeable. But in AEW, in New Japan, he's a lot more stern, he's a lot more quiet, you know what I mean? There's a lot of difference in characteristics and a lot of subtle details that do add up. And I feel like that's what really interests me with Andrade this year and just between the two companies. I fucking love this. I really love this match from a intriguing standpoint. The athleticism and the chemistry's there. The chemistry's definitely fucking there. It's just, I want more. That's the thing. I feel like that's the only thing for me with these two is there's definitely a great chemistry there. We just need to go fuck it. I would love to see this match. Frankly, I would love to see AEW Andrade go against Yota Tsuji, and I feel like that's the difference. And I love New Japan Andrade. I love how he's being portrayed and stuff. And again, he's the fucking man. I love Andrade, bro. Don't get that twisted. I fucking love Andrade. But I just feel like that's the big thing I'd miss. But I don't know. I really enjoyed this. I need to keep up with New Japan, especially with Andrade holding the belt. I will do. I need to keep up with Newman too, obviously with Ospreay. Andrade being a part of United Empire. Some people forget that faction's absolutely stacked. But yeah, this match I really enjoyed. I don't think it's like one of the matches of the year, but I really did enjoy it. I think it was an excellent match, and again, I would really like to see more from Yota Tsuji and Andrade. I think this should not be the end of these two. No way. So yeah, that's my thoughts on Andrade versus Yota Tsuji for the global heavyweight title in New Japan at Dontaku 2026. Let me know you thought below of the entire event and just this match. And if you have any other matches or companies or anything you want me to go over, let me know, because I'm trying to broaden out modern day stuff. I know I do a lot of match rumbles on past matches, but modern matches should be worked into, so let me know what you think.